and welcome to an unusual cast. Because usually we don't have cast on this channel, but this time welcome to the CranKy stream on the Kuro stream. This is Duckling Open numbered 121. Our now monthly Diamond tournament. Diamond and below. And this is the very first time that Kuro is solo casting. Wish me luck. So to start us off, we have someone familiar and someone less familiar on our channel. We have the one and only Yakuzaku versus the Viper. I don't know who the Viper is, but we will find out together. As we are loading into our first map, which is Golden Aura, as a reminder, because it's been a while since we had the Duckling Open. Like the last Duckling Open was in 2022, I believe. So we had an entire year of break from that. And the last, and as a reminder, in the Duckling Open, we actually don't have vetoes for maps. We have losers pick. So the first map is listed on the bracket for each round, and then we go by losers pick. So the map for this round is Golden Aura. And starting out in the top left corner of Golden Aura, we have our purple Terran player representing the CranKy Ducklings and Singapore. It is Yakuzaku. Why do I not have sound? Hold on. The fanfare cannot go without sound. This has to be fixed. Where's the fanfare? It should have sound. I'm now very distressed. Anyway, on the other side of the map we have our CSO esports player. In the blue we have our Zerg player. It is the Viper. And I am very unsettled that I don't have sound on the intros. What did I do? What did I break? I'm gonna quickly try to refresh this and see if this helps. But yeah, I have no idea what happened, so I'm sorry, but we may just have silent fanfares because yeah, it looks like they are kinda broken. But anyway, let's get to it. We have a hatchery first from the Viper, Chikaspo. Meanwhile, the Yakuzaku just getting his racks, just getting his single gas. And we'll see what he goes for. I know that Yaku has been learning some new openings lately, but we'll see if he will be using them this time. Or he will just go for his usual builds. Yes. I like what you did to the place. I mean, yeah, looks pretty good. We'll see what the players want to do next, because so far it doesn't look like they want to be aggressive. Looks like we were looking for more of a standard game. And I guess we will just see who has the better macro in this scenario. As a reminder, we have a new patch announced, but that is still a PTR patch, so that is not in effect yet. So we are still on the older version of the game. Wait, Yako, there's this. I think Yaku was not looking at the specific moment. He was just rallying his Reaper in, and he didn't notice that he brushed right against this drone, and he could have probably killed it or at least denied his base coming down. Obviously there's Viper isn't putting it down quite yet, but the drone was right there and in the wide open. So that's a bit unfortunate, but nonetheless, Yaku keeps an eye on any sort of aggression coming from the Viper. And I just realized that I think I don't have health bars. Yeah, I must have been doing screenshots again. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, now we're good. Yaku actually scans the base of the Viper to find out what's up. He sees that speed is on the way. There is only one drone in the gas, so One drone, I guess, means that there will be some banelings coming in, but not quite yet. Meanwhile, Yaku just denied an overlord. He just killed an overlord of Viper. Actually supply blocking Viper as well, which is pretty nice. And in the meantime, he's just going for Hellions, and I guess he will be getting ready for some harassment on the other side of the map. Viper does not have a lot of forces yet. He made a few Zerglings, but just a few of them. 2 of them are actually going for a scout, but they are being spread across the map. No sound from the game, Istan. I mean the fanfare specifically. Like, the fanfare is silent, and I don't know why. Like, I even checked the settings, and it should be there. It's just not playing. Ooh, the Zerglings get right in, but they are met with the Hellions, and I guess that's a nice information from Viper because he sees the Hellions coming out, so he knows he should be expecting some harassment. He's making many more links now, and he has some in the ready. He has the Queens as well. There's nothing at the third base, but there are no drones there either, so he shouldn't be too worried about that. And he's even making spores, so he should be ready for the Liberator that's coming as well. And yeah, I wonder when Yaku is gonna be moving out with this Hellions. Here's where I put the disclaimers. I'm really not great at builds, so I do not remember how many Hellions you need to move out of this, but it looks like it is time, and Yaku will be going across the map. Again, there are Queens, there are Lings, even 2 Queens at the third, so I think Viper should be fine as long as he sees it. For now the Hellions are just coming in, but they see the Queens, and will they actually try to focus them? It looks like they do for now, but the Zerglings are here. Will there be a surround? No, the Viper doesn't decide to go for it, and rightfully so, because the Hellions were still in the open. But now the Hellions are going into the natural. The Lings were out of position, and it looks like the Hellions may get some barbecue going, but at the same time they get stuck, and it looks like they will be cleaned up, but not before the 16 rows go down. I assume to the Liberator. Yeah, the Spore Crawler has 1 kill, but it managed to clear almost the entire mineral line in the meantime, as the Hellions were distracting Vipers on the front. That said, Yaku has lost all 8 of his Hellions and the Liberator as well, so I mean, it's a very good piece of damage on the workers, which is definitely nice, but he also sacrificed quite a lot of resources for doing so. So I don't know if it really puts him that much ahead because of it. So Viper has an eye on his third bases, so that's very nicely done there. The orbital is in the wall, so it is ready to be deployed, but it's just waiting for the right moment. Also, hello Milk. Yes, welcome. And it looks like it is time that Yaku will be taking the third base. At the same time, he's scouting the edges, making sure there are no overlords around. And actually, that is something good to point out, that Viper is not using overlords for the vision. He has his overlords mostly in the base, and the only real vision he has on the map are those Zerglings that are really annoying for Yaku right now. We have baneling speed coming up, transitioning to the next. I mean, next phase maybe is a bit much to say, but we will be going into the Link Bane. We have some links already there, already morphed, and I mean, they will be useful for the Marines that Yaku is making, but we'll see. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a bit worried about Viper's numbers. Like, this is good, but like, it all depends on how the engagement goes. We'll see, but for the time being, he's taking a 4th base, he's getting the Hydra then, so we will be seeing the Link Bane Hydra versus Terran, which is definitely an interesting option to go for. And more links coming for a scout, so once again, Viper confirms that there is a 3rd base for Yaku. As Yaku is amassing more tanks, more Marines, and yeah, we will be just going for a regular biotank. Oh, the single link getting right in, scouting the entire base of Yaku and maybe even causing some chaos in the mineral line soon. There are absolutely no units, so the Zergling is able to run free because the units of Yaku are currently going across the map and they are reaching the bases of Viper. he does have the links, he does have those Bane links, but he doesn't have a lot of them, and he needs a good engagement here to defend, especially with the tanks. He's running in his links, focusing the tanks with the links, which is good, but the Banelings are trying to get to the Marines and they can't quite do it. Oh, finally they do have some connections, but it's not enough to clean up the army, and Viper is out of units. He doesn't have anything else right now. He is making more, but the third base will be going down. The drones were evacuated and Yaku has taken this position. The links are coming out, but they are just Zerglings. There are no Banelings present. There are no Hydralisks either. It's just Zerglings to defend, and Yaku is pushing forwards towards the natural. The Banelings are being moved and Viper is trying to hide them behind that mineral line, but I guess they should be able to be ready in time. But can Yaku focus this, or will he walk right in? Ooh, he loses most of the Marines and the tanks as well, and eventually Viper cleans this up, but not before losing 2 bases. So, I mean, again, Viper eventually defended the army, but he lost 2 bases, and obviously as the Terran macro goes, like, this was the first wave, and the next waves are coming because Terrans never stop the production. Like, they always railing more units across the map, and Viper does have some Banelings, does have some Zerglings, but that's just all the army that he has. He's getting the upgrades right now as well. He was behind in the upgrades during the fight. And we'll see if he can even hold this fort. He is retaking the bases, of course, but it will take a while before they're fully operational, and Yaku is ready to attack again. Oh, the Bane is trying to sneak in, trying to find the Marines before they're able to reach the base, but they won't be able to, and tanks siege as well. Ooh, really nice position from Yaku. Can he defend it from the Banelings? He takes 1 Bane shot, but he avoids the rest of them, and the army of Viper is gone. GG is called, and Yaku will be taking game number 1. GG. Nicely done there from Yaku. He just, you know, very solid Terran macro there. And he was able to eventually overpower the Zerg. And now it's on Viper to pick them up and potentially tie up the series. In the meantime, hello to the chat. Hello to Eiston, hello to Roselia, one of our very common amateur players who used to be like really good Diamond, but I think they're way up higher now in the ranking. We have Eiston, we have Papa Panda, of course, one of the most well-known players of our amateurs tournament is the Papa Panda. We have Milk, we have Light. By the way, for those wondering why is Light not casting this tournament, there are 2 reasons for that. First of them is that Light is the main admin of the Duckling Open and Master Swan Open, so for the amateur tournaments he is the one that's handling the admin side of things, so I am the one who will be streaming those even when they are back on our channel. And the second reason is that for this edition specifically, unfortunately, we are a bit clashing schedules with Stars War because we only have 2 hours of a window between the 2 tournaments. So we decided not to risk it and rather cast this tournament on the quote-unquote B stream of CranKy Ducklings, and and Stars Wars will be starting on the mainstream in a bit over an hour now. So if you want to check that out, it will be starting soon as well. But for the time being, you can chill here to find out how the amateur players are doing. Yes, Pikachu asking in the chat, we do have a monthly Diamond tournament. Duckling Open used to be a more frequent one, like it used to be a weekly, it used to be a bi-weekly as well, but you know, for various reasons we had to put the tournament on hold, and this year as we were reforming a bit, like we were changing the way that things are with our tournaments, we decided that maybe it is time to bring back another amateur tournaments, because I feel like there is a bit less of them nowadays than there was back then. Like back then we had things like SCV Rush, for example, and like more stuff like that. So we decided that maybe at this point it would be a good idea to bring back the amateur tournaments, but like not in the on the weekly basis, because it is a little bit too much of a workload at the moment with all the other things that we do. But a monthly tournament was reasonable, so that's what we decided to go with. And I welcome you back into the game, as we are now on the Rathuset Station. For some reason, the favorite map of Yakuzaku. And spawning in the bottom left corner, the set player in the red, representing Singapore and the CranKy Ducklings. It is the Pakcham himself, Yaku of Dizaku. Have the fanfare! Finally, it worked! I guess the refresh did help. And on the other side of the map, in the top right corner, we have the Bluezer player representing CSO Esports. It is the Viper. By the way, if you have any fun facts, I mean, obviously any interesting, nice fun facts about the Viper, then feel free to let me know, because I am not familiar with the player and would definitely be interested to know more. But once again, Rathuset, a bigger map, so I don't expect any rushes here. And once again, Viper goes for that hatch first. It seems like it's going to be the hatch gas pool. Yaku going for his racks, going for his gas, so I guess we will be seeing once again a Reaper Scout. But first we have an SCV coming across the map, and we'll see if we can maybe like deny a third, or maybe just get some information going. As you remember, last game we had that unfortunate Reaper that completely passed a drone on the third, but maybe Yaku will find it at this time, and we'll see how the things develop. Oh yeah, as Light is mentioning in the chat, SDO was our very first tournament. That's why you see that the number is over 100. The SDO was our very first tournament back in 2017. That was how we started. Like that was how our whole channel was formed, because originally we were gonna just host the tournament and that would be it. Like, you know, with no cast, no nothing. Like we just decided to like, oh, we're gonna like go through replays, and if there's something interesting, maybe we will send it to Crank to cast or something like that. But as things went, as we, the three of us, because it was Light, Yaku, and me, as the three of us sat on the like watching the replays and just commenting on what we see, the things that were happening, I decided that they were too good to be just kept in the private, and I was the one who decided that we should stream that. So the very first SDOs were streamed on my channel, and from that we just made a separate channel for the CranKy Ducklings, and that's how the whole casting started. So SDO is the source of the casting channel in a way. And that's how the CranKy Ducklings as you know them now came to be. In the meantime, it looks like we will be having a very similar game to previous. Once again, we have that one drone on the gas, so the Bailing Nest will be coming soonish. The Reaper didn't deny the third. I don't know if there was a drone this time, but once again the Viper is able to take his third, and Yaku will be just scouting around, just checking if there is anything he can do to maybe bother the Zerg a bit, maybe just get some information going. And he also is making those Hellions, so I assume we will be seeing something very similar to previous game, and just we'll have to see how things develop. So hold on, what is this emote in the chat? Is that a Snorlax taking notes? I mean, is that Snogstar? For those who don't know, we keep mispronouncing Snogstar as Snorlax. Or mostly like that, I guess. Oh, once again, the Viking hunting down this Overlord and will be taken down. Yeah, I don't think it's not supply blocking Viper. Kinda it is a supply block, but it's like on point supply block, so it should be remedied soon, I hope. But oh, this time we are not going for Hydras, we are actually going for a Roach Warren. So that will be a bit of a variation from the previous game that we saw, and I mean, Roaches may definitely do better, but Roaches are not amazing against Marines, especially in very high numbers, so I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. But Yaku is ready with his harassment, we have the Liberator on the way, we have the Hellions, and we see Viper is ready. He has some links, but definitely not as many as he did have last game. He is making more, so they should be there. As for queens, we have a few queens, but only one per base. I think maybe this is the fourth one, and the Hellions are now here. The Zerg is actually moving out, but the Hellions look distracted and they're looking for the links instead. Yeah, that was a nice bait from Viper as the Hellions were distracted with the links, and at the same time the Liberator should be coming into the bases. Actually even a scan to clear some of this creep, but where is the Liberator? Hold on. Can see, there it is. Yeah, there you go. So once again, Yaku going for the main base, but this time Viper actually pulls his drones away. He makes sure the Spore is there, so we won't be seeing that much damage on the drones. But the Hellions are going straight into the third base, and barbecue is beginning. The Lynx are trying to help, but they are not enough. The Roaches definitely will, but there's only a few of them, so in total 10 drones does go down, and it looks like Yaku will be able to save some of these Hellions this time. Oh, this is very aesthetic. See, now I have time to like look around the map a bit more. We did get announcement that there will be new maps coming, so we will be able to learn some new maps together, but I always like to appreciate the work that has been put into the decorations. Like, I may not be the best strategic mind of StarCraft, but I definitely appreciate the visual aspects of the maps. And the units too, I guess. Once again, Yaku going around looking for these overlords, but Viper is not using the overlords for vision. He's keeping all of them at base, and I guess, I mean, it's always good to have overlords to see what your opponent is doing. At the same time, when they do have that Viking, make it a bit annoying. And I mean, Viper made sure to have at least one watchtower, but now it has been taken over by Yaku, and Viper is completely out of vision. Oh, this single drone actually decided to, for a bad moment, to go for the hatchery as the Hellion completely denies it. The Zerglings will clean this up, but still, that's a nice little denial there for Yaku. Scan on the main. He does see the evolution chambers, he knows the next phase is coming, and he did see the Roaches before, so he knows that the Roaches will be coming eventually. We're serious, actually. Trying to go across the map to get some scouting done, but they are being spotted by the Viking. Oh, I mean, when we have a drop from Yaku, those are marine drops with some marauders as well, and he will be trying to find a nice spot for getting damage here. I guess he will drop on this base across the wall because the minerals are protecting it from the land attack, but not from the drops. So with the vision that Yaku has, thanks to these watchtowers, he will be able to sneak in pretty much unscouted, unseen. And there are no defenses on this side. Like, Viper is prepared on the for the Hellion attacks, for the run-bys, but not for the drops on the other side, and a lot of drones may be dying here. Yaku marches forward. The base will actually be killed. There is no cancel on the base. The drones will now be falling down, and The Lings are here to help, but they are a bit too late as the base has already fallen and Yaku can just pick up the Marines and keep fighting. That's exactly what he does. He picks up, he goes straight into the main, but actually decides maybe it's not the best place to land because now all the forces of Viper are already here. I'm starting to struggle the more I say Viper because Viper is also a unit. He hasn't made Vipers yet, but once he does, this will be very confusing. Okay, so we are going for that hive, so we may be seeing Vipers soon. Let's find out if the Viper makes Vipers, but at the same time maybe Yaku won't let him get there because he is marching forward with this small squad of Marines, but this is just a small squad and there is more army waiting at home. There are tanks, there are Marines, there are a lot of Marauders as well in that army to make sure that the banelings are not really an issue. And I assume soon Yaku will be moving out, but ooh, this is a nice little ninja base from Viper. And I don't think it is scouted from Yaku and it won't be for a while, but at the same time I don't know if it will really have much of an effect if all of these tanks roll into the base. At the same time Yaku is distracting Viper by dropping in the main and he may be able to snipe some of these structures. It would be nice if he targeted the Hydra then as it's still researching, but disabling the ability to make banelings is definitely huge with all this bio army that he has. We'll be dropping the pocket base as well, but at the same time the main army is on the front, the tanks are there, the bio is there, even a single Hellbat mixed in the army, and there are no banelings because the banelings nest was sniped, so no more banelings are being made. The Zerglings are trying to take down the tanks, but there's not enough of them, and now it's just the roaches, but the numbers are not there for Viper. He's making more Zerglings. He get all this tech on the way, but it's the tech which just won't pay out fast enough for the army that's already here. The third base gets taken, the Marines are marching forward. All these overlords that were not on the map will now possibly get sniped, but first the army has to be dealt with. The roaches are here and so are the Hydras, but the tanks are still standing and they are dishing out a lot of damage to this ground army of Viper. And GG is called. Yaku will be taking this series 2-0 with his Biotank army and Terra Macro. GG. Oh, I did not switch the scene. Very nice. I'm a professional streamer now. With that, Yaku is going to advance into the semifinals. There is only single elimination today because currently the rule is that if we have 8 or more players, we are doing single elimination brackets. And actually, you should take a look at the brackets with me. Let's hope it's actually working as well. And here we have the brackets. It is a little bit small. Maybe I can remedy that. Oh, this is very professional. Try to make them not that much, a bit too much. There you go. That's more like it. And more like this. There you go. Now we're talking. But anyway, looking at our bracket, we had Legend K take down random user, also known as Werehog in the chat, taking them down 2-0, and he's currently playing our most interesting player yet, who's called Bianmaru Clem and plays Protoss. Because that makes sense. And the winner of this series will be facing Yaku in the semifinals. At the same time, we had Matinator versus Katsperos, and Katsperos did take down that series 2-0, as well as Peace versus Milka. And that series ended with a 2-1 for Peace, and now we will have the semifinals of Katsperos versus Peace. Now let me just make sure I can find them in the chat. Okay, we have Peace. Where's Kasperos? I'm not exactly sure like where these players are from. I should probably check on that. Okay, there you go. So Kasperos is Polish, as I assumed he would be, because that sounds like a Polish name. Meanwhile, Peace is from Sweden, and both of them are playing Protoss, so this will be a PvP coming up next. Okay, hold on. Trying to both set up the thing. As well as set up the casting too, so it's a bit of a challenge sometimes. But it looks like both of our players are from Europe. Actually, we could be playing on Europe's server, but I guess they decided to do otherwise. So we will be staying on the Americas. And yeah, just getting ready for our series, making sure we set up the map. As a reminder, the first map is on the bracket, and then the next map is Loser Pick. So for the semifinals, we are starting with Radhuset Station. So it's again Yaku's favorite map will be coming out. And yeah. By the way, the reason why I assume that Kacperos is Polish is because Kacper is actually a name in Polish. I guess it's like Kasper in English, something like that. But it is actually a first name, so it's very possible that is his name. Or maybe not. We had players before who took different names. But it looks like we are waiting for Peace to be ready. So with that, let's take a short break. Make sure to hydrate your Hydras, stretch your roaches, train your disruptors, I guess, whatever that means. And be here, right as we start this series very, very soon. I'll see you then. we are back. Welcome back to our Duckling Open 121, and we are loading right into Radhuset Station with our two new players. This is the semi-final, the bottom semi-final of the tournament. I'm sorry for the colors. I kind of noticed it a bit too late. I will try to change it for the next game, but for the time being, we have in the bottom left corner the first of our Protoss players. It is in the green, representing Sweden. Peace. And on the other side of the map we have our red Protoss player. It looks like representing Team Void. It is Kacperos from Poland. So we have two of our Protoss players, and I mean, I guess this is a European tournament, so the PvP is inevitable eventually. And we'll see how they go. Also, once again, when I see a new Polish player that I do not recognize, there's like a 80% chance that there will be Protoss. We don't know why, but there's something about Polish Protoss players, and typically they also like to play in pink or purple. Why? I don't know. But yeah, looks like both of our players, you know, just scouting each other, making sure that everything is good. Taking that low on that wall on the low ground. We have the first difference. Peace decides to go for this Cybercore before his Nexus, I guess partially because of this probe being really annoying in the natural base. At the same time, Kacperos has the time to throw down that Nexus before the core. Ooh, even blocking the expansion for Peace, so this is very annoying start, and that probe is so low, but yet it's able to do so much damage there. So I guess if Peace wanted to incorporate that base into his plan, he has to now change his strategy and just do so without it, which definitely can be annoying, but at the same time that means that he will be forced to be more aggressive, and we'll see if something comes out of that aggression. Unfortunately for him, Radhuset is quite a big map, so any aggression won't be coming too soon, and even blocking with a forge as well. Kacperos being really annoying here. Interesting for him to pick forge specifically for the block. Typically when we see these kind of blocks in the natural, it is the Cybercore that is being used, but he goes for a forge instead. I was almost scared, but maybe it's like a very weird cannon rush, but no, it is just a block, and it probably finally be going down. That forge is still there, so it will be a while before Peace can take his base. At the same time, Kacperos is going for a Stargate, so there will be even more harassment coming. I assume we will be seeing some oracles in the main base again, because Peace was so focused on getting this base done. He got 2 zealots to do so and only 1 stalker, and he didn't get any additional gates. Sorry, he does have a second gate in the main base, but he only has those 2 gates. The warp gate is still on the way, so he won't be able to warp in any stalkers to help with the defense from the oracle, but I guess by the time it is on this side of the map, maybe he will have like 1 round of warpings, and that should be enough, but I don't think Peace is thinking about that, because he's actually setting up an outpost closer to Kacperos' side of the map, and he will have a robot there as well, so this should be quite a strong attack. And with that oracle going across the map, like, Kacperos will be more focused on dealing damage, but we'll see if he can defend as well. Oh, the army is actually passing each other. That oracle flying right by the stalkers, and it's getting a lot of damage already. It's completely denied from harassing Peace, and that's a very good start there. But at the same time, that does give vision of the attack for Kacperos, and Peace even marching his army straight to the outpost despite it being revealed, so Kacperos will be able to see that the attack is coming, but does he have enough units? He has 3 stalkers and a shield battery, a pretty solid wall with that, but it's not enough firepower. The first of the stalker falls down, but with the overcharge he should be able to hold it for now. At the same time that Oracle on the other side of the map is starting to kill probes, there's absolutely zero defense for Peace. He has to warp in Stalkers, but before he does so, 7 probes are already dead, and that single Stalker won't even be able to deflect that Oracle that easily. It's trying to get even more damage. At the same time, Peace is breaking into the base. The single Immortal will definitely help with the defense, and we do not have Overcharge anymore. It is currently on I don't know if it's, I think it's on cooldown, but either way we don't have energy. The Void Ray will be coming out, but a lot of the structures are being depowered. Actually, I think this might be all the gateways, yeah. Katsperos has 0 gateways right now. He only has that Stargate, and the Oracle is out of energy, so the units that we see right now is all that he has. Ooh, even getting supply block because of the pylons going down, so no more units will be coming out. That Immortal is so important right now, and it still has its full HP. The probes will be trying to help, and they will definitely try to deal with the Stalkers. Ooh, the Void Ray will be focusing down the Immortal though, and with that, Peace will be stopped, but Kasperos definitely suffered quite a bit. That said, Kasperos is still up at base. The Nexus didn't fall, he still has the workers. He doesn't have production, which is definitely worrying. He has only that Stargate to fight with. And the Stalkers will still keep harassing. Like, Peace can warp in more units and more probes are going down. These Void Rays are nice, but with the Stalkers they will be able to get damaged, and we'll see what they can do versus this army. The probes once again trying to help, and they definitely will, as the Stalkers are not that strong of a unit against all of this army. And Peace will have to reinforce, but with only one base that doesn't have many workers to begin with because of the constant harassment from the Oracle, it will be hard to reinforce like constant waves of attacks. That Oracle is getting very low, but it did get its job done. We have 10 kills on the Oracle, and it's definitely a looming danger there, so it has fulfilled its purpose. Finally, Katsperos is repowering all those gateways, all the Cybercore as well. So once again, he will have means of production other than just this Stargate with the Void Rays. And with that, I think this will be the end of the aggression from Peace, because I don't think he get much done. He doesn't have that Immortal anymore. I don't think he has the resources to make another one. And with just Stalkers alone, I think Katsperos can overpower this army. He has already 4 Void Rays, there are more on the way, and yeah, Peace has to move back. At the same time, Peace is getting a Stargate of his own. He finally was able to take that second base, but I don't know how long that base will stand. Fortunately for him, Katsperos does decide to clear that outpost first, because it definitely poses some danger to him. He doesn't want to be sneaked attacked suddenly when he's across the map. So that gives a little bit more time to Peace, but I don't know if that is enough time. We're getting that Stargate. We have only those 3 gateways, I'm sorry. And we're still not mining on the natural. We only have 2 free drones, 3 probes there, so there's not a lot of income coming. We're going for an Oracle as well. I don't think the Oracle will have, as the Voiders are already on the way. They're about to reach the base. We have these Stalkers, but there's not that many of them. And even the air upgrade is on the way for Katsperos, so yeah, we'll see if Peace can do something here. He has those 2 shield batteries, which will definitely help, but the pylon is sniped and they will not help him anymore. The Stalkers are falling down, the Void Rays are staying on top of the natural base. One of them is getting low, so Katsperos is trying to micro it back. It will fall eventually, but even then he is dealing with these Stalkers one by one. The shield batteries are not repowered yet. The pylon is on the way, but it is not ready, and the last of the Stalker falls down. GG is called, and Katsperos will be taking game number 1. I will remember to change scenes eventually. We are getting our lobby ready and on the way. This is the game 2. Once again, as a reminder, this is loser's pick, so this is Peace map pick for this game. I just decided, I just realized that I went for an LE version, which was not good. That's what happens when I haven't hosted a tournament for a while. But anyway, we will be going to Solaris. And in the bottom right corner of Solaris, we have the first of our Protoss players. It is in the blue, representing Sweden. From CranKy. I'm not sure what that clan is. We have Peace. And on the other side of the map, in the red, we have the Polish Protoss player representing Team Void. It is Kacperos. Oh well, we have the boop. We have the boop. We had the boop! Yay! So the boop has been had. The probes did meet in the middle of the map, and you know, both players will be scouting each other to see what's going on. We'll see if once again Kacperos will be this annoying with his probe and do a lot of delay damage to Peace, or if we'll have just more of a standard game. So welcome Psychons as well. Welcome Complete Noob. Oh, I didn't even notice. This is actually a gas steal. This gas belongs to Kacperos. I didn't notice. I thought Peace did get it off, but nope. This is a denial from Kacperos, and once again he is being annoying. If not the base, at least he will get the gas. We'll see what the plan for both of our players is. It looks like Peace did sneak that pylon in the natural base of Kacperos, which may mean that, like, yeah, he's trying to get the gateway there and he will try some proxy play, but again, with that gas, like, he definitely can't have as many units as he wanted to, unless he will be warping in Zealots. He's making a stalk at that base right now. That one Zealot will be slowly dealing with the assimilator, but I am curious what will be worked in across the map. Kacperos is not scouting that location, so I don't think he will be able to see it. He's going straight for the third and maybe to the bottom there.
Hey, they're attacking our base.
Also, he's using an in control announcer. Fun fact. And once again, we do see that this assimilator gets done with, but once again we see the Stargate from Kacperos, so I assume there will be more oracles for harassment and the likes, but oh, this is so close to being scouted, but not quite. And oh, actually Kacperos is checking, and now he finds that warp gate. I mean, that's the thing, it's not a warp gate yet, it's just a gateway, and the Zealot is being made, but I don't think it can come out before this pylon is destroyed. It will be very close. So with that, the attack of Peace is denied, and Kacperos gets to take the base, and Peace has to change his game plan, because that clearly didn't work out. Unlike the previous game, he still has units here, so he should be able to defend from the Oracle. He also has that base, he was not denied it this time, so he's able to expand to the natural around the same time that Kacperos does. But the key is now how much damage this Oracle will be able to do. There are a lot of stalkers on the front, but not many on the back, if at all, so... Ooh, this Oracle flies into the natural, it tags the army and just flies away. But yeah, these probes are way too tempting, so we'll try to get a few anyway. It looks like it will get 2, but the stalkers are now making sure that they are protected. But nonetheless, quite nice there for Kacperos, because he got both the vision and a few probes as well. So that's definitely nice for him. In the meantime, he's preparing his own army. He's making sure he has all the tech. He's getting his Twilight Council, so I don't think we will be seeing Void Rays this time. The Stargate is already inactive. But that Oracle will definitely be flying around, and now it has a friend as well. Once again, going for the ramp. I'm not sure if that's a good location to dive in with an Oracle. Maybe it would be better to go straight for the Mineralize, but I guess it is a good place to scout what tech the opponent has. And we see that Peace does go for his own Twilight Council. I'm not sure if Kasperos has seen it, but he definitely tried. And at the same time, Kasperos will be getting his charge. We reached the point of the broadcast when I'm slowly starting to lose voice, so I hope you enjoy. Ooh, and we see a Dark Shrine from Peace. I guess that is one way to get back at your opponent if you can sneak some DTs. Thing is, there are oracles on the side of Kasperos, and he even scouts the Dark Shrine as well, so I mean, assuming he clicked on it or he knows what the shape is, I assume that he will know that it's there, but I don't know. He lost one of these oracles. He doesn't have a robo for observers. Oh no, sorry, he has a robo, but he's making immortal, so I don't think he will have observers. So there is potential for damage there, but the thing is that Peace does not have a War Prism. He doesn't even have a robo, so he won't be able to ferry the Dark Templars on the other side of the map. He doesn't have a pylon outpost set up to warp them in either, so the only thing he can do is warp them in the base and walk them all across the map there, or maybe use them for defense. And yeah, I don't know if the DTs will be very useful to that. I guess he can use them for Archons anyway, but other than that, the Oracle once again dives in, kills a few probes, and moves away. Sorry. That will be a constant threat against Peace, and he is working on Blink, so that will definitely help him in the defense, but it will be a while before he gets there. At the same time, Kasperos has seen the DTs and he is getting his observer ready, so he won't be surprised by that. He's getting photon cannons in his bases as well, so even with the DTs present, they are not posing much of a threat, and actually both of them get denied before they even get into the Mineral Lines. At the same time, from Kasperos, we have the Templar Archives, we have some War Priest on the way, so it looks like we will get a proper attack with the reinforcements as well. And can Peace be ready for that? He is making Archons from these DTs because, again, that is something they are useful for, but he doesn't have a lot ready. He just has the Stalkers and the single Archon. That said, the army of Kasperos is not big. It is mostly made of Zealots though, so we'll see how this battle will go. Now we get some High Templars as well, which will be immediately morphed into Archons, so one Archon versus one Archon, but slightly different ground army. In the meantime, both of the players are taking their third bases, so they're definitely planning to continue this game if they're able to, but we'll have to see how this engagement goes. Oh, it looks like Peace is out of position and Kasperos is able to sneak up on him and going straight for the natural, meeting the army on the back. And I don't think Kasperos himself was planning to do so, but it looks like he will be able to take down the front. He has the observers, so the DTs are not a problem for him, and he has an Immortal in the army as well. The Archon does fall down, but for Peace, and now it's just the Stalkers. Oh, sorry, it was the Kasperos. God damn it, Protoss. But yeah, both Archons fall down, and eventually Peace is able to clear most of the army. The Immortal does survive, but at the same time we got 16 probes going down to a Zealot run by, as Peace has been completely distracted by this attack. He did not defend his main base, and The entire middle area has been cleaned up, and even now there are no units here to defend. There's only that single stalker that actually gets hunted down. 21 probes down, and the cells are eventually being cleaned up. I mean, I guess except this one. But yeah, that's some major damage there, and Peace decides that this is his time to go across the map, and he does do so with all his stalkers. I mean, Kasperos did lose a lot of army in that last attack, but he also has a better setup, and these two Archons will be able to finish in time, and they will definitely help in this defense, although they are not the ideal units against stalkers. But yeah, Peace has no way of returning. The army of Kasperos is in all of his bases. He did recall back, and he will be able to clean this up, but once again he lost 19 more probes, and look at the difference in workers. We have 55 to 8. Like, the difference in workers is just colossal, and even if eventually Peace cleans up this attack, this one Immortal is still standing strong, but eventually it should be cleaned up. But even with that, like, he just won't have the resources to remake that army. In the meantime, Kasperos has all the resources, also the economy, and it will be a GG. Kasperos will be taking out this series 2-0. And as a reminder, this was a semi-final series, which means that Kasperos will be moving on to the finals of the Duckling Open 121. And yeah, we already have first of our finalists decided. We got some nice PvP there, and with that, it looks like we will be getting ready for our second semifinals. Looks like that is already up and waiting for us on America's server. So as we said before, we have Custody Yakuzaku before, who was already in the semifinals, but it looks like Myanmar Clan was able to take down Legend K 2-1, and he is now also waiting in the semifinals, so we will have TVP with a lot of Terran names. Yes, I quickly have to set this up. So yeah, we will be now jumping into that second semi-final between Myanmar Clan and Yakuzaku. Again, don't forget to hydrate your highlights, as I will do so right now. So, just waiting for our players to make sure they are ready. I guess with that, I will go on a short break to, rest my voice a little bit, and right after the break, we will be back with that second semi-final. So, don't go anywhere. Also, as a reminder, this tournament does have a raffle for random participants. So, right after the semi-final, we will have a raffle as well. So, stay tuned, and we will be right back. we are back in the second semifinals of today's tournament, and we are on Radhuset Station, looking at two of our players. And first up is the Protoss player. Yes, you heard me right. It is a red Protoss. I'm not sure which country or team he's representing. Actually, I should probably check. Hold on, I think I have that information. Yeah, it is a Korean Protoss that we currently have here. And it is... yeah, you may be a little confused, but he is Byanmaru Clem. Again, very interesting combination. But on the other side of the map, we have an actual Terran player. It is in the blue, representing the CranKy Ducklings in Singapore, the one and only Yaku of the Zaku. Yeah, I guess Byanmaru Clem continuing the tradition of people getting confusing names, picking all the Terrans just to play Protoss. Definitely quite original, but like it does play a trick on your brain when you think about all these great Terrans and that you see a probe. And that probably is being really annoying. Actually gonna take down the first SCV here of Yaku. He does have a second one, so the barracks will not be denied, but definitely quite painful way to start the game. And we see what we get from here. So far it doesn't look like there's anything too out of the norm on either side, so I guess we have another macro game on our hands. Byanmaru Clem taking his expansion right after this cyber core, and again Radhuset quite a big map, so he doesn't have to be too worried about anything weird going on. He also got that SCV down, so he knew exactly what Yaku is up to. He saw that there's probably no racks across the map, so he has the time to take his expansion and just take up. First repair of Yaku is going across the map. He will spot that scouting probe, which is very unfortunate for the probe, and looks like it will be going down, but it also delays the scout a little bit, so I guess it does change things on either side. Yaku actually scouting these third bases. I guess he was expecting maybe there being some kind of shenanigans going on. I see this chat is catching up to the names, yeah? Yep. The Reaper will be looking around the third base. At the same time, Byanmaru Clem is getting the Twilight Council. Ooh, the Reaper tries to get in, but will be barely denied by the Stalkers. I'm not sure if Yaku was actually able to see the Twilight Council itself. No, he barely didn't manage to get it, so... sorry, this was this one, but like, yeah, he didn't manage to get the last two buildings on the scout, so won't be able to see exactly what is going on. But he is for something that all the Protoss absolutely love, which is Widow Mines. Byanmaru Clem in the meantime is working on his blink. He doesn't have any defenses in the main. He has all his stalkers in the natural. There is a shield battery, but shield battery won't help against the Widow Mines, so we'll just have to see if he can spot the drop coming in time. He doesn't have any sort of vision across the map, so he won't be able to spot the drop coming. Only 3 Widow Mines, not 4 from Yaku, and he is focusing on building up his bio army instead. With that medevac going across the map, we'll see if Byanmaru Clem is ready. He does have 4 stalkers in the natural, which is definitely very nice. He's getting ready to take this pocket base. As I said, the main is completely undefended, and if Yaku can find a good angle, like there's a good chance that he does a lot of damage. It looks like that's exactly what he will be going for. At the same time, he is working on that matrix on Raven, and I just want to see what happens to the Widow Mice. The Medivac is coming in. The Stalkers are now moved into position and they will be able to spot the Medivac, but will the Widow Mice unload anyway? It looks like they do. There is no pull from Byanmaru Clem. The Widow Mice managed to dig in, and 7 probes will be going down. It could definitely be worse, but it could be better as well. That one last Widow Mine was saved in the Medivac. I'm not quite sure if the Medivac actually left. No, the Medivac did go down, so all 3 Widow Mines were taken care of. And with that, the Byanmaru Clan is able to work on charge and just progress to the next step of the game. 7 probes is definitely painful, but looking at the difference in workers, it's not actually that huge, so he should be able to manage with that. At the same time, he decides this is time to be aggressive. He marches his Stalkers across the map. There is a tank here, so it won't be easy to go across. There is a bunker as well. But the Stalkers do have blink, so they may be able to sneak by. The Observer does go down, so no more vision for Byanmaru Clem, and he blinks straight on top of the tank and takes it down. The Raven tries to help, but it also goes down, which is definitely a huge pickup for Byanmaru Clem. And yes, I keep saying his name and I wonder when words will stop having meaning. There's a Robobay on the way as well, so there will be even more tech coming from Byanmaru Clan. Once again he tries to march in, there is no second tank here, the bunker is still standing though, so he has to respect that, and so he will move out, but the second tank is all the way on the high ground, so won't be able to quite defend from the ramp, although it will be able to reach if the Stalkers move any closer. So for now Byanmaru Clem is happy just containing Yaku to this part of the map. Oh, but Yaku is the one who decides to move out right now, and he should be able to catch those Stalkers if he moves out, but he has to be careful because he may lose both of those tanks. So yeah, he goes forward and he is able to take at least one of these Stalkers and take the base for himself. Yeah, looks like Yaku was just able to... trying to chase away the army of Byanmaru Clan, and he is landing the base on the third now. He decides not to take the pocket and instead goes for that forward base. And now it is time to attack. The Stalkers are here to definitely slow down the push, and I think they can take most of it, but there are 3 tanks now, there are Marauders in the mix as well, so it will definitely be much harder. We have to keep in mind though that there is a 1 Colossus and Thermal Lances on the way as well, so this will be a huge help for Byanmaru Clem. Now he is able to pounce on this Terran army. Both of the tanks will be going down, and as well as most of the Marines, and even the Medivacs are getting sniped. Yaku scans to make sure that there is a 4th base. As a reminder, this is a 4th. There is the pocket base has been taken by Byanmaru Clem as well, so he is up 1 base versus Yaku, and he has all the tech coming up as well, so now Yaku is in a bit of a trouble. That Colossus production has started and at least 1 is already out. But we'll see what Yaku can do, because he is sending the drop across the map. Drilling Close is on the way, but there are no Widow Mines in this Medivac, I don't think. Actually, this one? No, this one has just 1 Marauder. Never mind. Yaku is waiting to drop this pocket base, which is definitely a nice location for a bit of harassment, but yeah, it's mostly like he will probably get a few pros before the whole army does move across the bases. He only leaves 2 Marauders here and wait for the army to come in. At the same time, he's getting ready to drop in the main base, but Byanmaru Clem knows better and he actually doesn't let him get into the main. See, 5 probes go down, which is definitely a nice little piece of damage for Yaku. But actually, look at the workers. Myanmar Clan is so much ahead in the workers now that I'm not sure if those little differences matter all that much. But in the meantime, we are getting more army, we are getting the upgrades, the bio upgrades are coming up, the armory as well. We are setting some widow mines to make sure that if the army is here, like at least it will be stopped a little bit. At the same time, we are getting this double medivac drop ready. This time Yaku will be going for the north location. There are a lot of pylons here, which is very interesting. I guess this is kind of the supply pocket for Myanmar Clan, but there are also 2 shield batteries which will definitely help, but they are not in range of the probes. The whole army is here though, so Yaku will have to be very careful if he wants to move in here. Even the Colossus is here on the front, so I don't think he will be able to get much damage done. Myanmar Clan is doing a really good job of splitting his army, making sure he has something at every location. Oh, but he moves out at the wrong moment and Yaku is able to march in. He will take down a few probes, but his army is probably not leaving. 4 probes going down, first of the medivac as well. He's dropping in the main base, but the stalkers are here and it looks like it has to be a pickup, but not, even the medivac goes down. And with 4 probes, I don't know if this was a good enough trade. And also the Protoss has reached the critical mass. They are moving across the map and Yaku has to master defense. He does have this bio army, he does have the Liberators, but it does not look all that strong. Where are the tanks? We only have a single tank here and the Liberators, and I'm not sure this is enough to take down this Protoss army. The Widow Mice will definitely help to slow it down, but this is a big Protoss ball. Yeah, the Zealots are used to bait the Widow Mines to make sure they get all the shots, and now he's marching in. The EMP does hit most of the army, but not the Colossi, and they will be dishing out so much damage on the Bio Army. The Bio Army tries to escape, but it melts in the fire of the lasers. The Liberators are definitely putting in work, which is helpful, but 21 SCVs do go down. The second EMP does land on most of the army, and even the Colossus are affected now, but not all of them. And in the end, I mean, Myanmar Clan does decide to move back, but Yakuzaku did lose an entire elite mineral line, which was definitely painful for him, as he was already behind the workers and now he is even more. At the same time, Myanmar Clan has the time to take another base, has the time to work on his tech. I think I saw a disruptor for a little while. Did the disruptor finish? Yeah, there are 2 disruptors on the map and they will be joining the army, so there will be another asset in the army of the Protoss. At the same time, Yaku does take that pocket base, so that will be able to keep his economy going as the front base is under attack, but now it's time for round 2. Ooh, nice blink from Myanmar Clan, very nicely done. And he will blink on top of this tank as well, and the stalkers are now fighting. And the disruptor show was a nice zone out technique, but now we'll see. Oh, all the stalkers are actually hit by the EMP, so all the shields are gone, but what the stalkers are really protecting are all of these colossi, and we have 5 of them right now, so that's quite a lot of damage against this mostly bio army that Yaku has. Again, the ghosts are definitely helpful, but they're also part of the bio army, and they will be melting to this colossi if they get into the range. So Yaku has to be very careful where he steps. Ooh. I guess now And now Beyond Clan just finished with your mind by sacrificing his own units, and because he can do so, he marches straight into the army. Like, another EMP does land, but even with the EMP doing the damage to shields, the Protoss is still able to move forward. All 5 Colossus are still standing, and they are cleaning up the Bio army. The Disruptors fall, and so do most of the Zealots, but Stalkers are here, and the most importantly, the Colossus. The Colossus were never dealt with. There are no Vikings, no nothing. 21 SCVs are falling, and the Protoss army is still standing, and it's raining chaos on this base. And GG is called. Yanmar Clan will be taking game number 1. GG. Yeah, I can hear Yaku from here, even though I do not have him on a call. I just know that he's probably very happy to see 5 Colossus in front of him. So, make sure I make this on the correct server. We are ready for the second game of this semi-final series. This is a best of 3 as a reminder, and the winner of this series will be joining Katsperos in the finals. For those who have not caught up with our tournaments, Duckling Open used to not have a monetary prize, but we have changed the rules this season, and actually both of the finalists will get some money as a reward, as we have $10 for the first place, $5 for the second, and there is also the random participant raffle as well. But for now we will be loading into Hardlet, the map choice of Yakuzaku. And now that we loaded into Hardlet, in the top left corner we have our red Terran player representing CranKy Ducklings and Singapore. It is Yakuzaku. And on the other side of the map we have our blue Protoss from Korea. It is... yes, it is Protoss. It is Myanmar Clan. Whenever things like this happen, when you have these players who take names of other players, I do wonder what the players themselves think about that. Like, is that flattering to have somebody's name? Is it funny? I wonder what they think. Once again, we have that probe going across the map and bothering this working SCV. 2 other will come to help. I guess one of them will eventually chase the probe off, and this time Yaku does not lose a CV, so small little victories right there. In the meantime, we have Yamaru Clan going for that expansion right after the Cybercore. 2 pylons and a wall on the ramp, so very well done there. Making sure that no unwanted Reaper scouts can get in. Yaku getting the bunker in the front, I mean, he wants to be protected for any aggression that may be coming, and so, you know, Yamaru Clan can put some pressure on the bases of Yakuzaku, but doesn't look like there will be anything too early. We have a Twilight Council on the way this time, so we see what Yamaru Clan wants to go for. The Reaper tries to come in for a scout. It is stopped by a single stalker, but it actually is not able to finish it off in time, and this time Yaku will be able to scout the entire base. He sees the Twilight Council, he knows exactly what is up in the base of Yamaru Clan. And what is up is Blink on the way, and we're adding more gateways as well, so I guess there may be some aggression coming with that Blink being finished soon. So we see once again Yamaru Clan will want to pressure Yaku at the front of his base. Yaku, meantime, is once again working on those Widow Mines, so I guess we will be seeing another drop coming. Chat, I need you to give me your energy, because again, this is the first time I am solo casting. It's the second semi-finals and my voice is struggling. This will be a good cast. And we have a rob on the way as well as the 4th gateway, so I guess we will be getting for a bit of a 4-gate blink here. And yeah, Yamaru Clan is getting ready for the drop to come. I mean, to be fair, like the Widow Mine drops have become so common in PvP that at some point you can just kind of expect it to be there. So we have stalkers on each ledge of the base, and you know, just making sure that no Medivac can get in. And Yaku is sending that Medivac with the 3 Widow Mines again. Fortunately for him, in the natural base there are only 2 stalkers instead of 3 or 4, but that's still enough to put some damage on that Medivac. Wait, what is this doing here? Are you supposed to be here, little buddy? It looked like it was floating. But anyway, the Widow Mines are going in. Yaku is actually able to only unload 1 and get stuck between the stalkers. The force in the natural was reinforced, and the Widow Mine drop is completely denied. And with that, that is a signal for Yamaru Clan to move out. He has a warp, so he will be able to move to warp in across the map. There is a Raven and a tank and more on the way, but will they be able to finish in time, because the army of the Protoss is already here. If 4 warp gates ready, we do have quite a few warpings on our hand, and now the blink in straight on the tag, just as last time, and even the bunker is being focused. The warp does fall down though, so there is no more reinforcement from Yamaru Clan, but even without it, he is marching forward and he should be able to deal quite a bit of damage to this natural base. There is a tank on the ramp, so he shouldn't be able to move into the main quite yet, but he should be able to deal a lot of damage to the SCVs. Oh, actually taking down the entire orbital, the repair was not able to save it, and that is a nice little win for Myanmar Clan, like completely taking down the base of Yaku. And that was his natural. And Myanmar Clan is not done, he's still moving in. All these SCVs are still at the natural waiting for the base to be remade, but they are in danger because these stalkers are looming about. The tanks will now move to the low ground, which will definitely help in the defense, but look at the minimap. Myanmar Clan is taking his third at the same time, and another tank gets focused in that attack. Okay, I was also updated that Myanmar Clan can also be called BMC, so we may use that, but to be fair, I don't mind saying his whole name either, so that will be fine to me. In the meantime, he is getting that robotics base, so we will be getting more Colossi, I assume, from those robots that as soon as those are available. Ooh, another blink, another tank is being sniped, and another one is unsieging, unable to shoot, and all these tanks are getting sniped. Meanwhile, most of the stalkers survive. Now they are being chased by the bio army, but this is also not that much of bio, actually. A lot of it is SCVs that have been pulled off the line. So yeah, like, Yaku is quite in trouble. Another tank is on the way, but this is not out yet. He has a Raven, but he's not quite able to help. This bio army is all that stands between these stalkers and the SCV line, and even more SCVs will be falling down. The boys have been pulled to help fight this threat, and they will definitely help, but they will also die in the process. Meanwhile, BMC is comfortable on his third base, already setting up, already saturating it, and you know, getting the resources, and you can see the difference in the workers, 32 to 57. And the attacks do not stop. Ooh, the anti-armor missile did land, but even with that, the SCVs are falling. They are pulled off the line for defense, but look at that warping. That's a lot of zealots that will be going straight for this army, and GG has to be called. Myanmar Clan, BMC, is going to the finals. So GG is called. Nice game, definitely good play from Yakuzaku, but it was not enough to take down BMC, and with his relentless blink, with the sniping every time, he was able to take down the series 2-0. And with that, we have our finals. So if you take a look at the bracket with me, we have the 2-0 from the semifinals, and we now have our finals decided. We have Myanmar Clan or BMC versus Katsperos. So that will be the next series that we will be showcasing here, but before that happens, we have something else that we have to do. Let me quickly set this up. Okay, so again, how will this show up? Let's find out. So before we get to the finals, we also have to do our raffle, so let me quickly set that up. We had no no-shows today, so everybody is eligible for the raffle because, as the rules say, to be eligible for our random participant raffle, you have to play at least one full series. You can't just give up after one game. You have to play at least one full series to be counted for the raffle. And let me quickly put in the players now. First, take the chance to hydrate your hydras. Okay, so now we have our 9 participants because this was a 9-player bracket. And with that, I will now randomize the players. So our random participants who will be walking out with $5 for just showing up and playing the games, it will be Katsperos. So actually, one of our finalists will be getting a little bonus for playing today's tournament, so no matter if they win or lose, they will be getting additional $5. So that's definitely nice for our Polish Protoss player, and yeah, and now we will be getting into that series. Let me quickly just... Okay, so we have both our players in the party. Okay, so we have both our players in the party, and it's time to set up our first map. As reminded, this is a best of 5, and we will be starting on Oceanborn. Oh, I got a notification from the CranKy Ducklings. That's funny. So yeah, we're just setting up the lobby, making sure that we are okay. Place. It looks like I will have a co-caster as well. Let me quickly jump in. Hello. Hello, co-caster.
Oh.
So, welcome to the stream. It is the one and only Yakuzaku, who we just saw playing.
Justichka!
Yaku, I have to. Are you in the lobby? Okay, you're in the lobby. Okay, you're good.
Yeah. Oh, we going.
I'm trying to set everything at the same time. I'm getting notifications from the
Yes.
CranKy Duckling stream, so it's sorry for that,
Yes.
but at the same time.
Yes. We're almost right on time, but yeah. The 2 hours in between SCO and Stars Wars. We almost made it, but not
Yeah,
quite.
it was very close actually, so not too bad.
Yeah. But with that, we're gonna be able to jump right into our PvP finals. I apologize to you, Kuro. I apologize to everyone in chat. Well, maybe not to you, Kuro, because you don't mind this matchup so much. I was unable to prevent the PvP finals.
You tried, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. I swear I tried.
No, I mean, look, again, European tournament, there has to be a PvP, okay? We cannot go without, especially when Polish people are involved.
Oh, absolutely. Every single time.
But we are now loaded into Oceanborn and we are starting our best of 5 finals. As a reminder, both of these players are already in the prize money. The winner of this gets a $10 prize, the loser gets $5 prize. And as Katsperos also has that bonus. But we are now looking at our Orange Protoss player representing Team Void and Poland. It is Katsperos himself.
And spawning here over in the top left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn. We, of course, have our red Protoss player coming down from the land of Korea. He, of course, is currently teamless as far as we can tell, but representing the spirit of Terran everywhere. Playing Protoss, though, we have Yun Maru Clem, BMC.
To be entirely fair, I feel like Maru would play Protoss. But we already have some PvP shenanigans going on as Katsperos is setting up shop right on the ramp of Jan Maru Clem. We have that Forge finishing, so it will be a full-on cannon rush.
Yeah.
And it's a very
There's a little bit
interesting
of
spot
Sim
to
City.
make one.
It is. It's right about going to be in range of that ramp, obviously, and of course, with these double pylons, the cannon really prevents any surface area. I like this from Kakperos, just building the cannon far away from the pylon as possible. Second probe coming in to help out.
The probes are trying to damage it down, but at the same time there's more going on the ramp itself, and the cannon will finish and will start dealing damage to those probes.
Yeah. A bunch of them are already going down. 2 cannons will... Actually, this cannon will be cleaned up. 5 probes did take it out. I believe that was a kill and not a cancel indeed. There were 2 other cannons that were killed and not cancelled in between here for Caxpero. So already, Yunmaru Clem is lower when it comes to the worker count, is starting to lose a little bit, but this was already a very hefty investment from Caxperos that isn't really paying off.
Yeah, he did invest a lot of these cannons, and he was hoping to maybe get a bit more damage, but in the end it looks like BMC will be able to defend, not without losses of course, but well enough.
Yeah, Cell already gonna be coming out, and that should just about be the end of this cannon rush. No gas mining from either player, interestingly enough. Obviously understandable from the side of Caxperos. He was focusing on a cannon rush this entire time, but beyond Maru Clem, BMC, gonna be a little bit not as ahead as he could be.
Yeah, but he is working on, he's getting his Zealots, has his Cybercore, and getting his second gateway as well, and that wall is a little bit wonky because of what happened, because we have like mostly pylons in the wall, but regardless, he is looking pretty fine. Yeah.
He's weathered the worst of it. He's all on an even worker count, which at this point will favor him, just because he is getting standard structures. He is going in the regular tech path that you want to go for as a Protoss player. He's going to be up on gateways. He's going to be behind when it comes to the Nexus, funnily enough, pretty soon, but I would still favor Caxperos for this little window of opportunity. This little window where he's going to be ahead tech-wise.
Also, Casper's making sure he doesn't get attacked. He's getting that cannon on the front. He's a little bit afraid that there may be a counter-attack coming, but it looks like he should be safe for the time being, and I guess in the end we're gonna be getting into a normal game.
Well, there we go. PvP. I guess it just goes to show you that even with the proposed sentry changes, there's still a possibility for PvP to be volatile in the early game. I want more cannon rushes, is what I'm saying. Get on that, Protoss players.
I will say, they're kinda more rare nowadays than they used to be. I feel like we had a lot of cannon rushes at some point, and now it's more occasional.
Yeah, something you throw in every now and then in the best of series to just try to throw your opponent off guard. Usually not something you start a series with. I will tell you that. So, you know, the cajones son caperos to try it out game number 1, this best of 5, are absolutely massive. But yeah, we see why at the start of a series it might not work out too great. BMC was able to not be thrown off that much.
To be fair, the start of the series may be exactly where you want to do it, because since if you do it once, like your opponent will always like keep it on the back of his head, like, oh, that's something he can do. But
yeah, priming them.
Yeah, or maybe if the cannon rush works, then maybe you can like tilt your opponent a little bit. But either way, yeah, the cannon rush unfortunately did not work for Casperos, so he will have to go for something else. And something else is Void Race.
Because why not? I'm liking this from Caxperos. Void Race, obviously a very defensible unit, and he knows he is going to be a little bit vulnerable right now. He knows that BMC has full map control, finishing his Warp Gate a lot sooner, being able to get a sec a lot sooner. Warp Prism about to make its way across the map along with the rest of BMC's units. And he's ahead by over double the worker count. Caxperos really needs to rely on his defensive structures.
Yeah, and he only has these 2 stalkers here, but the cannons will definitely have. The Void Ray will now join in, but you have to remember those are mostly stalkers, but it looks like most of them will actually be ferried around to the main base, and at the same time we'll have the force at the front. But this Void Ray is hunting down for the Warp Beast. Will it actually be able to take it down?
It will, and it will be able to take down one of the stalkers that was in the Warp Prism as well. This draws all of Caxperos' forces into the main base, however. But with the double cannon here in the natural, Caxperos shouldn't have any trouble cleaning up this counterattack.
Yeah, and it looks like this attack was defended, and Casperos is now not in the worst position. He has Void Rays and he is making more. He has this defensive setup with the cannons and shield batteries, and it actually is BMC who has to go back to drawing board and figure out what to do next.
Yeah, it's like whatever advantage BMC had earlier on this game is now gone completely. Not that Caxperos is particularly far ahead, or not that Kakberos necessarily has the advantage, but yeah, it does feel like BMC has closed that window of opportunity he once had.
It does. I guess we will see what to do next. We're still getting more shield, but it's more cannons from Katsperos. It looks like he wants to be more defensive. He wants to, like, you know, just reinforce his base and make sure that he's actually secure, while at the same time BMC is expanding and, you know, just playing a more regular game.
Yeah, Kakberos definitely, again, wasn't able to really get into the main base of BMC after that initial counterattack failed. For all he knows, BMC had a massive gateway explosion and has way more units back at home to defend, but from what we know, BMC is, as you said, just playing out a normal game, getting his third base much quicker than Kakberos, and getting his upgrades on about the same time. Kakberos will be a lot quicker when it comes to +1 ground weapons, but BMC will, of course, have that earlier Nexus to try to make up for that.
Yeah, definitely. And in a lot of these games we've seen today, the economy was the key to victory. And we will see if BMC is able to keep that economy, because we have a few Void Rays actually sneaking past, and they will be trying to get some damage done, but there are Stalkers here, and I don't know how much they can really do.
Yeah, Blink is going to be finishing up here for BMC very shortly, so that will even further limit the effectiveness of these Void Rays. Might be able to get a pylon.
It's always a nice catch. It will be devouring with one gateway, so it's a little bit less of a reinforcement power for Myanmar Clan, but at the same time with all of the Stalkers here. Ooh, but actually...
Yeah, Blink's right on top of the Void Rays. Void Rays were trying to harass, hoping that, you know, BMC didn't have Blink just yet, but it was not the case, as we could see.
Yeah, it was not the case, and all of these Void Rays will be going down, so there goes that for Katsperos, and he will be working on his ground army now. He is getting charged, he's getting immortals, so he's definitely focusing on the ground, but we'll see if he gets there, because BMC is back.
With a vengeance, and this time there are no defensive structures in the third base. Shield battery about to finish up just about now. BMC is within range of it. It looks like he just has enough. He has enough DPS just to one-shot Stalkers regardless of this overcharge though. But as I say that, Kakberos warps in another wave and will be able to chase us back. That one shield battery going to be keeping Kakberos' hopes alive this game.
Yeah. Again, Katsperos has pretty solid defensive positions which are helping him in this game, and time again BMC tries to break that defense, but he is not quite able to, despite having all these forces. But this is purely a Stalker army. There is no other support with it, there are no Immortals, no nothing, not even Zealots, despite the fact that he is working on charge. So we'll see, he will eventually be able to find an angle of attack here.
Yeah, definitely looking for that transition eventually. Kakberos, meanwhile, is just staying at home and getting a better army than BMC is, I would definitely say. BMC, like you said, just sticking purely on gateways, purely on Stalkers for now, and I imagine eventually switching into Chargelets. He's getting his Forge now, which means that his upgrade's going to be much later than Kakberos's, but more importantly, his army composition itself isn't going to scale very well into the as this game continues, compared to Kakberos, who already has Immortals and is about to have High Templar and Archons.
Yeah, exactly. So that will definitely be a nice advantage for Katsperos there. And I mean, we kind of reached the point where, like, both players are just refining their armies. They're mostly staying at their base. They don't really want to harass because it doesn't seem like it's working. Katsperos actually decides that it's time to expand, and he is taking his fourth base, but at the same time, BMC is back.
With a vengeance, once again. All of these Stalkers are going to be very far behind when it comes to the upgrades, and obviously those Immortals of Kakberos are going to be helping out a ton, but a quick second wave of Warpins here will put BMC's army supply much higher. He's got Chargelets now, and they're going to try to tank some damage. A couple of them are being body blocked by the Stalkers. Stalkers blink on in, will be able to target down one of these Immortals. Second one will try to get targeted down, will be taken out. Archons are now out on the map here for Kakberos. BMC might have overextended though, might have stayed too long with that battery overcharge. All of his Stalkers gonna get completely cleaned up. GG is called, and Kakperos will be taking game number 1.
Yeah, that was some explosive ending to this game. I mean, again, like this, we've seen that before. We've seen that before with BMC, that he has really good control, and you know.
You're telling me.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to snipe those immortals. Like, he seems to be like really focused on doing that, on doing the damage to the important units of his opponent. But unfortunately, he overextended there a little bit, and
Yeah.
you know, he was so focused on sniping these important units that kind of his army wasn't able to make it through.
Yeah, I think we've all been there, where we've been in a situation where we know that we're ahead when it comes to army supply. There are some key units in the back. I mean, specifically for PvP, like we see here, it is immortals that you want to be targeting down when you're up on stalkers. But fortunately, you're so focused on them, you kind of tunnel vision a little bit. Once BMC sniped those immortals, I feel like he should have pulled back a little bit. But again, it happens from time to time where we think that we can win the game then and there, but the numbers just don't quite add up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, also, it just feels good to do so, right? It's like just this little bit of adrenaline rush when you're able to snipe these important units right from the nose of your opponent, but sometimes those dives are just not worth it. And this is definitely something that happens to pro players as well, when they dive on these attacks, but they just don't work out.
Yeah. I can tell you the TVT equivalent of, I think, what we just saw, something that I've been in a lot of times, is running Marines in the tanks. Be like, yeah, I sniped your tanks. Oh wait, you have more tanks or other units that will kill the rest of my army.
Yeah, but we are now loaded into our second map, chosen by BMC, and it is Equilibrium, actually. So we are now looking at our blue Protoss player representing Poland and Team Void. It is Kacperos.
And swatting over here in the top left-hand corner of the map, swatting all the way in the top left, we have our red Protoss player coming down from the land of Korea, sending out 2 probes into the map. I'm hoping this means he's going for gold, but we shall see. He is currently teamless, but representing Terran everywhere, or the spirit of Terran, we have Bjorn Maru Clem, BMC.
To be fair, you say spirit of Terran. I mean, I feel like
no spirit in that name.
No spirit on the name, first off, and second off, I feel like Terrans would play Protoss.
Yeah, not gonna lie.
Also,
that's a gas seal from Kakperos. We need to sign him now.
Yeah, I mean, this is the second time in this tournament that he does do a gas seal, so that's very nice. He seems to like to do that specifically in the PvP.
Well, going double gas himself back and home. Curious as to where he goes from here. But we do know that if Kakperos ever wants a place on CranKy Ducklings, we are obligated to give him one now.
Yeah, I assume many of the viewers don't actually know that meme, but way in the past, because gas stealing was actually like one of the main tricks of Light VIP. So that was a joke that, like, to get on the team you need to gas steal at least once.
Yeah. It was a quote-unquote joke, but when we had 2 members join our team, or I think slightly before they joined us, they played in peep mode, they did seal the gas. So we felt like we had to have them on.
Yeah, it's part of the contract.
Yeah. Meanwhile, from Kakperos, we have a very interesting choice coming down from him. I was kind of expecting BMC to be the player to be a little bit cheeky, as Equilibrium was his map pick, but no, Kakperos is going for that proxy robo.
Yeah, very interesting. I mean, he is still denying that gas for BMC still has not been dealt with, so is keeping him behind over there, and he also was able to check out what is going on thanks to that. And yeah, looks like he wants to be aggressive with the trouble. Let's see what he can do with it.
Yeah, it looks like he's being very committed to this one base for the time being. Robo about to finish up. I like this. Yeah, full commitment coming out from Kakperos, getting the gateway in the proxy as well. He's going to have much quicker warpins as a result of that. fewer warpins though compared to BMC, as I believe he's down by 1 gateway, but most
They are
likely,
equal
realistically
right now.
speaking. Oh, okay then. Well, still going to be behind when it comes to the warpins because Immortals are a hefty investment, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, actually, BMC has 2 more gateways on the way, so he will be slightly ahead, but Kasparos has to be careful not to lose these stalkers. They will be key to this attack. At least he is pulling the army away, but he's not ready for a sneak attack yet.
Not just yet. Is he pulling the entire army of BMC across the map? That would be pretty effective.
I mean,
Just needs to make sure that he doesn't actually lose these stalkers.
Yeah, I mean, you say pretty effective, but it also means that these 2 stalkers are not part of the main attack that Kasparos is preparing, so it all has its downsides.
They won't, but the Immortal will. So we'll see about that. There's a shield battery up this ramp. 1 stalker goes down for each side, but yeah, Kasparos should have no difficulty cleaning this up. Meanwhile, Kasparos waiting for the second Immortal before going into the base of BMC. Can't say I blame him too much. Immortals are powerful, but I guess you don't want to be leaving them too isolated.
Yeah, especially because they don't have that backup of the stalkers, and the army of BMC is split because he is railing straight across the map, thinking he can break as Kasparos, but actually the Immortals are marching forward, and there is no wall here, no close-up on the wall. The probes are not here in the beginning. Yeah, there is a pylon, and all the production on this ramp is going down. This stalker will be surrounded, but the Immortals are surviving for now.
Yeah, I really like the probe surround on those stalkers. Hang on. Probes are starting to surround the Immortal as well. One of them will go down. Second one will just barely be recalled. This proxy from Kasparos, I mean, it got some damage, but nowhere near enough to really justify this investment. We'll see if round 2 will be able to change that with that Warp Prism.
Yeah, although I think the Warp Prism is more of like, you know, a harassment force than anything else, and I mean, that definitely depowering all this production was nice, but those were not the only gateways of BMC, so that wasn't actually that much of a problem for him, and he eventually finds the proxy as well.
Yeah, there we go. Gonna be shutting this down. Warp Prism gonna have to find another way to get damage, and this is apparently it. BMC very quick to react, very quick to warp in. Defensive stalkers will be losing a couple of probes, but not the biggest of deals.
Yeah, 3 probes is still nice damage, but 4 even. But it's definitely not like game-ending damage, and look how many stalkers BMC has by now. These 4 gateways are definitely doing a lot for his army production. Kasparos has this single Immortal, but it's very low, and we know how much BMC likes sniping those.
Yeah, it's very low, it's very isolated. BMC is up over double the army supply right now. Kasparos trying to go for double robos? That is not what he wants to be investing in right now, or it is what he wants to be investing in, but that is not what he should be investing in. There are no defenses here on the low ground. Trying to warp in more stalkers. Kasparos is believing in the power of 1 Immortal, but it is not going to be enough. It immediately gets sniped. I have no shield batteries, no nothing. GG is called. BMC, Bjornmaru Clem, is going to be tying up her series sideways 1-1.
Yeah, so we have a nice back and forth in this series. And again, as I said, we know that BMC really likes sniping these core units, so that Immortal was in huge danger. And as we saw there, the game did go in his favor.
Yeah, very, very much so. Very, very much so. Equilibrium, man, it's a very, very large map, and that can be a bit of a double-edged sword, as we saw in this game. Because Kasparos was able to pull BMC's entire army back home, that wasn't much in the bases of BMC to really defend against those 2 Immortals and 1 Stalkers. But at the same time, because Kasparos was warping in back at home, because Kasparos wasn't able to have all of his forces together in that attack, it really was just a matter of BMC warping in defensive units and making sure that his probe control was on point to surround those key units, which they were. And with that, yeah, going to be getting that little back and forth. We're going to be getting ready for game number 3 of our best of 5. We're not in the ace match just yet. We would be in the ace match if we were in the semifinales, but we are in Los Finales Grandes at the moment, so 'tis a best of 5.
I have complete news and chat. BMC looking huge. I mean,
Huge!
look, when you harness the power of 3 different Terran players, you definitely get the micro,
Yeah.
right?
You're lucky that he's not harnessing the power of Gabe.
Oh yeah, then he would
Then
be
we'll
really,
see how huge he be.
he wouldn't fit on the map.
He would not. I think the map would just disintegrate. Or just blow up as he spawns in.
Yeah, but we are now loaded into our next map. This was the Peak of Gatsperos, and we are now on hard lead, where our blue Protoss player, representing Team Void and Poland, it is in fact Gatsperos.
And spawning over here in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in this top left-hand corner, we of course have our blue, opposite of blue, red, Terran player, Protoss player, coming down from the land of Korea, currently teamless, but representing the spirit of Terran, yeah, that's why I said Terran. We, of course, we have Björn Maru Clem, BMC.
I just find it hilarious every time you see the spirit of Terran because of spirit.
Yeah.
Like, he's missing.
He is missing. Couldn't fit him in right at the last second there.
Well, Gatsperos, are you gonna steal the gas again? We need
He's
to find
threatening.
out.
He's
Let's
just
go.
keeping that probe there, making it menacing, yeah.
Yeah, it's trying to, but at the same time, I feel like he's a bit more busy with what's happening in his natural. As this time, BMC tries to be cheeky and goes for that cannon rush.
Yeah, the shoe is on the other foot this time. We do have a wall off into the main base here from Kakberos, so BMC going to have a little bit of difficulty getting in there. That was a kill, not a cancel on that photon cannon, but in the end, it looks like the surface area denial was good enough here for BMC. He will be able to get 2 cannons up, and they will be threatening this ramp. Zeltsau out, will be taking out that probe. BMC also getting cannons up. Gakberos also getting cannons of his own, so in the end, yeah, we're going to have a little bit of stalemate here.
Yeah, I mean, that cannon being on the low ground is not able to do much damage to Gatsperos, but at the very least, it is denying him his natural, and he will have to be very careful moving out of his base. He has cannons of his own, so BMC should be able to get up this ramp, but this is still a little bit, like, nice little bit set here. Although we have to keep in mind how much minerals was spent on the attack.
Yeah, looking at the units lost tab, oof. Gakberos has lost 1 probe and canceled something or another earlier on by the looks of things. Meanwhile, BMC lost 1 cannon, 1 probe, and obviously had to cancel a couple of those cannons as well. So all in all, 75 minerals lost for Gakberos, 262 lost for BMC. So while it's really good that he is containing Gakberos, while he is denying that natural base, he needs to get his own Nexus up and running ASAP.
Gatsperos still being annoying. He did get the gas steal once again, and he's getting a pilot as well, threatening that cannon rush because he did get a forge of his own, so he is able to put down cannons if a pylon finishes, but doesn't look like he will be able to at the same time. BMC did get that natural base, so things are looking pretty good for him.
Yeah, things are looking pretty not bad. He's going to be the first player to grab that Cyber Core, so Warp did finish up a little bit faster for him. Gakberos now cleaning up these forces, this cannon in the low ground, so we'll finally be able to expand, but much, much later than BMC. It's a little pro battle still going on.
It is. This probe is still alive. It keeps sneaking around the base.
Yeah, try to... Oh! Will be taken out by the Stalkers. That's not fair.
Yeah, that was a pro battle. Why did they interfere?
Shaking my head. But regardless, it seems like all roads do lead to this, what we're seeing right now. All roads lead to Blink, yes.
I mean, pretty much Blink is a very common upgrade nowadays. I feel like you get it in most games. Kinda like Charge as well. Like, chargeless Zealots are generally not very common.
Yeah. It's just better to have it than to not have it, right? And, you know, Stalkers are just such a ubiquitous unit for Protoss in all three matchups that you're really setting yourself behind by not getting it. It's kind of like Combat Shield for Terran and Link Speed for... Maybe not Link Speed, because that is necessary, but, you know, I guess Banelink Speed for Zerg.
I mean, in CVT, Banelink Speed is 100% necessary.
Oh, yeah.
So it depends on the matchup, really. I don't think there is any upgrade like that for Zerg.
Yeah.
Like, you can kind of just skip, but like, you should have it.
Yeah.
I guess Link Speed kinda is that, in a way, because in a lot of builds you do skip Link Speed.
Yeah, but it's like situational, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, I guess that is what we're getting at, you know? I'm thinking about these upgrades that are, you might as well get them if you're getting the unit, but if you're not getting the unit, you might as well skip them, right? So I'm thinking like concussive shells for Terran. Because you're not getting Marauders in every matchup, but it's still pretty common in like TVP and TVZ as well, so you might as well get concussive shell if you're building Marauders.
Well, for now,
And that would be,
BMC
like,
is making the big Marauders.
Yes. I'm trying to think of a way that can't be misconstrued as lewd, Kuro,
Oh no.
to describe Immortals, but they are the big Immortals. They do pack a very massive punch against armored units, and they will be especially useful against Stalkers. Krakpero's going to be moving in with his Blink Stalkers. His Blink control is pretty good. Going to be able to pick off a handful of BMC's Stalkers himself, but he knows he can't do much else beyond that. He can't really dive into the satchel base, not when there's an Immortal and Shield Battery.
A very important note that we were just talking about, Kasperos does have Blink while BMC does not. He has just these pure
doesn't.
Stalkers. With the Immortal, he got Charge first instead, I believe, and... Or did he even? No, he didn't get anything.
He doesn't have a Twilight Council.
Yeah, he doesn't have a Twilight Council yet.
Wow, I didn't even notice that. I just kind of assumed that he was getting it just because of how Stalker heavy he was being, but yeah, wanna pick his brain a little bit. I'm trying to think if there's a rationale behind skipping around the Twilight Council, because I don't want to call it a mistake.
No, I mean,
But
he is
it might just
focusing
be
on the
that.
Immortals. I guess he just prioritized that over getting the tech for the Stalkers, and he is pumping a lot of them.
He is, kind of surprisingly, so I guess this does make quite a lot of sense. If you're going to be unupgraded, you might as well have a ton of Immortals. Or rather, if you're going for Immortals, you might as well have a lot of them.
Yeah, I just find it very interesting, considering that in all of the previous games of BMC, we saw just how much he likes sniping these units with the Blink Stalkers, and this is the one game that he's kind of on the opposite side of things, where he doesn't have that Blink, and instead he's the one going for the heavy units.
Yeah, going for the heavy units, going to try to send them across the map as quickly as possible. We're just waiting for this warp system. I think BMC has recognized that this army that he's going for is going to scale very well as the game continues, and I don't believe he has eyes on Krakperos' third, but I think he knows that he's been on two bases for a bit too long. He has to try to deal some damage with what he's got.
Yeah, he will be trying to, as he's now moving across the map. At the same time, Kasperos is preparing something of his own, as he has this warp is loaded up with Zealots, but we just have to see which army can do more damage.
Base race?
Maybe.
It's a huge possibility. We're now seeing the army of BMC start to move into Krakperos' base. A couple of Stalkers trying to turn around here for Krakperos. Walks right into the firing line of these Immortals. 4 Immortals pack a very massive punch. This Warp Prism is a little bit bruised, so BMC has to be a little bit careful with how he micros his army as the game continues. Krakperos, meanwhile, back at home. Oof. BMC will be losing that Warp Prism, so yeah, not a lot of staying power, not a lot of micro ability with this army. Krakperos losing a lot of workers. BMC not losing too much, surprisingly.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't quite see what is happening at the same time at BMC's base, but it looks like the probes were saved because we are only losing probes on the Kasperos side, and even though there is still no warpies, so there is no reinforcement, this is still a very strong army from BMC.
Yeah, look.
The workers have to be pulled off the line, but is that enough?
Doesn't look like it, but maybe the cannon will be the deciding factor. 2 immortals already go down, 1 immortal remaining. A lot of probes going down here for Kasperos. This is a ton of damage that he's sustaining, and BMC isn't done just yet. Now he is. And does he have enough to, does he have enough back home to defend? All of his gateways are depowered, or rather what I'm trying to say is this damage worth enough to make up for the fact that, you know, he's been on 2 bases for a very long time and has had very inefficient mining.
It looks like all of the probes were evacuated to the naturals, so that's why we saw no probes dying, but at the same time, all of the pylons of BMC were taken down, so even if he did have that warp piece, he wouldn't be able to warp anything in.
Yeah, wouldn't have really been able to defend as much, but it does look like eventually he cleaned things out. It's going back into his production. He does have the better economy for the time being. Well, if he saturates his base. He does have the better economy for the time being. We'll see if that changes here with Kasperos retaking that natural base. Finally, BMC has recognized, you know what would be a good unit to... What would be a good upgrade to have? Blink. As that Twilight Council is now underway.
Yeah, Blink would be useful, right?
Nah. Just juggle.
I mean, to be fair, he did do a pretty good job without Blink, so I guess it did. I don't say if it worked out, because I mean he wasn't able to finish the game, but he did do a lot of damage to Kasperos with that, like, you know, just full power push.
Yeah, these immortals, they pack a mighty punch. They're the big marauders. Cancels that Temple Archives, which I think is probably the right call. BMC on 2 bases probably doesn't have enough gas to really invest in High Templar Archons right now. It's, I would imagine, more efficient to go for a second Soul Train push.
Yeah, on the other side of the map, though, Kasperos is going for those High Templars, and he will be having Archons in his arsenal. He is, despite having Blink, he is focusing more on the Zealots, which I guess should help him with the Immortals, and he also spots this army moving out.
Yeah, he knows he needs to prepare, he knows he needs to posture. There are already defensive structures by that natural base, but what about the third, where Kasperos is looking to meet him? There are shield batteries here, okay.
Yeah, there is one more, I believe, on the way, and this army is already walking in, but so many Zealots are here. The force field will definitely help, though.
Yeah, these force fields are absolutely huge. They are going to be preventing these Zealots from getting full surrounds on top of this army. BMC, though, he sees the unit composition of Kasperos. He knows, I cannot fight that. Not within shield battery range, not without upgrades.
And another Zealot warping goes into the main base of BMC, and once again, focusing those pylons, making sure that there is no production to Rain's force, and still no Blink, so this warpies has to actually save the Stalkers. At the same time, the main army going to the front.
Yeah, but I'm really liking the SimCity setup that BMC has carved out for himself here, where, you know, he can pretty easily jump between the 2 bases and will be within shield battery range for the most part as well. Dark Shrine being thrown down here from Kasperos.
Yeah, also, as you mentioned that SimCity, it actually kind of looks like tower defense, where you have these corridors. There's a lot to just run through,
and they get pelted at by the stalkers. Yeah.
I mean, which is good. That's kind of what you want to do.
Yeah. I wish there was an Archon mode where you could just have one player just build tower defense. I mean, theoretically, you probably could.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
If you really want to, you can.
Indeed, you can. Kasperos has kind of recognized that, or BMC, sorry, has kind of recognized that Kasperos is being very Zealot heavy, so he is getting that Templar Archives in the end. We'll be trying to get into Archons as quickly as possible, but there's still this massive window for Kasperos where he's up in supply, up in tech, up in upgrades, where he can try to get something done. He is hesitating for now. He knows just how good the defensive setup here outside the natural base for BMC is, but he doesn't have to push into him at the moment. He knows that these are the only two bases that BMC has, and he is very quickly running out of money.
Yeah, this is something very important to point out. Like, the natural is running out of money. The main base has a bit more, but not by much. And even though they are equal on workers, Kasperos does have that third base, and BMC does not.
Yeah, it's a very inefficient mining setup that BMC's got right now compared to Kasperos. Kasperos going in for the pincer. Gonna try to depower these shield batteries. Doesn't want to tussle with all those Archons, though. Not when the vast majority of his army is in Zealots. 1 DT will sneak in, and there's no detection here.
Yeah, there's no detection. The overcharge did help to defend the main army, but this DT actually proves quite a danger.
Ooh.
And again, focus on the pylons. No production almost for BMC, and then another attack comes on the front, and he's stuck in his own base.
Yeah, he's stuck. Not just in his own base, he's stuck in this ramp. These poor Archons keep spazzing out. They just want to go down, Papi. They're being pushed back and forth. DTs are back. There's an Observer now, though, for BMC. Well, it's on position, though. It's on position to deal with this. The pylon will be going down. Body blocking not quite good enough here for Kasperos. Where is that Observer?
He has hallucinated Oracle.
He does. The Observer died in the engagement, and because he doesn't have a robot, there's just zero detection right now.
Yeah, so he kind of just has to deal with the fact that he's gonna be losing stuff to these DTs, and instead he just goes for a counter attack. I mean, that is something that he can do, but with so many zealots on Kasperos' side, it won't be easy to attack into this.
Absolutely not. It's do or die. BMC has to hope that these zealots run straight forward into Archons. Kasperos, or BMC, sorry, is up when it comes to the Archon count. Disruptor will strike the heart of that army. Doesn't take anything out, but does weaken up a lot of these Archons and a lot of these Immortals very significantly. How's the juggling? Show me the juggling, BMC. He's just lost all of his zealots, and the Disruptor Nova will be taking out a massive chunk of Stalkers as well. One Disruptor will go down, but it looks like Kasperos has taken out enough of the backbone of this army to really take him out. Meanwhile, that DT's just going ham back on the other side.
Yeah, there's nothing BMC can come back to, and the army is surrounded, and GG will be called. Kasperos is taking another point.
I would just like to remind everyone that this game started off with a cannon rush.
Yes, it did.
Indeed, it did. That was a mud fight if I've ever seen one, Kuro. I'm looking on the stream, yeah, the Observer did get sniped. DTs, man.
DTs.
Never count them out. Never count them out. And so with that, we now have Kasperos on match point. One more map win, uno más, papi. And he will be our renaugural? Is that the term that we're going to be going for? You know, the reunion? Question mark? It's not the inaugural, but it's the first one in a long time. Be the first Sea Duckling Open champion in about 2 years, since we had to put this on hiatus, or a little under 2 years. I believe we stopped in third quarter of 2022.
Yeah, we stopped in 2022.
Yeah, around September or October, if my memory serves.
Something like that. But yeah, we have our next map. And we will be going into game number 4. As you said, Kasperos is on match point. He only needs one more win. Meanwhile, Maruklem, BMC needs to, step it up and take back 2 points to take down these finals.
Yeah, in a row. I like to imagine a weird formatted team league where that sentence you just said will also make sense, where it's like, ah yes, Björn Maru Clem We'll have to take 2 maps each or something, you know? I feel like what you just said can be used in many contexts, depending on how a tournament is formatted.
Oh yeah, I was talking about this before the tournament. So he's made out of 3 Terran players.
Yes.
So if he was a Protoss, he would be an Archon, right? But those are Terran players.
Right.
So what do Terran players make? A Terratron?
Man with gun. The man with gun combined.
Sure.
They fuse.
But anyway, we have loaded into our 4th map, and it is Hecate, or Hecate, or whatever else version you want. And we are looking at the first of our players. It is the blue Protoss representing Team Void and Poland. It is Kasperos.
And over here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner of Kate. We, of course, have our red Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea. He is, of course, currently teamless, but channeling the spirit of Terran. He is our man with Garkon. We have Yun Maru Clem, BMC.
I still think that should be a Terratron. Also, without fail,
like
Kasperos taking the game, that gas.
He did not hesitate at all this time.
Nope.
He just grabbed it.
Yeah, just went straight
Probe
for
came
it.
in, Probe grabbed the gas, and now it's alive.
Just gonna.
That's.
This would be very. Yes, very interesting.
Look at that. He's even keeping the probe here. He's waiting. He's waiting to wall this off. While Kasperos back at home himself is going to be going for double gate. Going to be going for that cyber core a little bit earlier as well.
I like how Kasperos always takes both of his gases, even though he's not mining both, just in case somebody else tried to steal it.
Yeah, well, it's better to have them than not, I guess, question mark. I don't know. I'm just trying to rationalize it at this point, but yeah, he's covering his bases. He's making sure that he never has to taste his own medicine. Speaking of medicine, it's also blocking off that natural base of Pylon.
And the probe is still alive, and it is blocking the natural base of BMC, so once again, Kasperos being very annoying with this probe, getting the block on the gas, block on the base, and it must be really annoying for the opposing player.
Super annoying, as we can see here from BMC. He decides, screw it, we 4-gating.
I mean, if that's what you want, we'll just go 4-gate.
Yeah. If you only have one base to work off of, you might as well. That probe from Kasperos is still alive, by the way. It is still trying to be annoying once again. Doesn't get a scout of that main base, but this might be a little bit of a tell. The fact that there is no Nexus down just yet.
Yeah, but I mean, he also denies that Nexus once again, so you know, make sure that the base does not go up whatsoever. This is the 3rd block on the natural.
Yeah, little does he know, BMC doesn't want that natural base.
I mean, you say that, but at the same time, he is banking some resources, so I feel like he would like to have it regardless, but I mean, I guess he will be able to spend those resources on the reinforcements.
Yeah, we'll see where that actually does go. Stalker does come out. Stalker will put an end to that. Oh.
Yeah, I just noticed something.
Yes?
BMC is not working on Warp Gate.
He is not. He is slowly getting 4 stalkers out on the map. Like, he hasn't been mining gas.
Kasperos' Warp Gate is already almost done.
It's because of this gas geyser in the main base, and because of that gas geyser, okay, it doesn't actually give Kasperos vision. Never mind.
No, I don't think it reaches quite as far.
Yeah, it doesn't. But it does deny the gas by quite a lot. You can see just how gas-starved Yunmaru Clem is right now compared to Kasperos, who is getting Warp Gate of his own. In fact, I believe Warp Gate, just finished up for him.
Yeah, it just finished. When BMC isn't even trying to get it. It just decides to be aggressive instead and see if he can get anything done. But we have a shield battery. We have an Immortal just going down the ramp. Like, BMC can't do anything here.
He really cannot. Maybe on a map like Hardlet, maybe on a map like one of the other really short maps, rush maps that we have, but on Hecate? Tikate? That is way too long of a trek here for these stalkers to get to the other side. Bien Maru Clem recognizes that there is nothing that these stalkers can do except for defend back at home, so he's getting his natural base. He's just going to have to try to defend as hard as possible. Gakberos does confirm all the shield batteries here, so I think he might be feeling that BMC is going to be defensive, which for the moment he is. But we'll see for how much longer as he postures on the map.
Yeah, he does take that base eventually, so he will have that going for him, but still there is no warp gate on the way. He hasn't even started it. He keeps just working on units, just on stalkers walking straight across from these gateways. And he even gets a little bit supply blocked, I think.
Yeah, for a moment there. For a little moment there until just before the Nexus finished up for him. Things are not going so good for our Terratron, Voltron, Optimus at the moment, to say the least, as Kakperos is just going to be rocketing ahead when it comes to the tech. Already researching Charge, already getting that Templar Archives, satisfied with his immortal count of 2.
Ooh, and this Phoenix House Nation should be just barely scouting the army moving out, so Kasperos should be alerted to what is coming his way. And he is ready with his Immortals. That is a big army though, so we'll see how that goes. We know that BMC really loves sniping those units, and he may do so again.
Yeah. He's gonna try. This is a big army, but it's a vanilla army, so these units are gonna be a lot less effective than they would be. Great force fields coming out here from Kakperos. Battery overcharge gonna be keeping this Immortal alive. Shield battery will be sniped, but it keeps the Immortal alive and will allow Kakperos to counter here. This is, yep, gonna be the end. Good game, well played is called. Kakperos is going to be our first SDO champion in over 2 years. Our champion of SDO number 121. GG, very well played here from our Polish Protoss player.
Yes, GG.
Very nicely done. Of course, you know, when we're coming back after a long break from SDO, our champion had to be a Polish Protoss player.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like the return of SDO had to be an SDO. Hold on, as I'm doing some admin work.
Yes. Yep, as that is going on, yeah, congratulations once again to our 2 finalists here. Congratulations to Kakperos for winning the whole thing, winning the grand prize of 10 USD, as well as that raffle prize of 5 USD. So really, Kakperos pretty much won the entirety of the prize pool here. Maru Clem, meanwhile, congratulations for coming in as the runner-up for winning that $5 USD prize pool. But it doesn't just have to be 10 and 5, as exclamation mark Macherino in the chat. We don't have any codes to give out. But if any of you, dear viewers, do feel like throwing a couple more dollars our finalist ways, then do feel free to do so. If you do get enough, that will trickle down, or rather we will be extending that prize pool to the semifinalists as well. So in other words, please contribute to the Macherino.
So Yaku can get paid, huh? Yeah, I see what's happening. But yeah, with that, we have now crowned the winner of our SDO. And for those who are curious, if they can also join this kind of tournament, if you know you are also Diamond or even below, and you would like to you know try yourself to see if maybe you can get farther. You can join this tournament. Of course, there are eligibility requirements. You need like to have required games. You cannot be masters for the past 3 seasons as well as current ones, of course. So make sure to check the requirements once the sign-ups are posted. But this is a monthly tournament. We currently have 2 amateur tournaments planned for 2024. The SDO, which is Diamond and below, and MSO, which is for Masters and below. Exactly, there's a specific MMR range for MSO. It's currently at 4.9, but we will have to make sure that this is still accurate for current season, for current MMR ranges. So keep an eye on that in case it changes.
Yeah, we'll be adjusting that as necessary.
Yeah, we'll see if that still
depending
applies.
on feedback, depending on feedback, depending on what we can see, if there's like too much of a gulf between players.
But yeah, so make sure to keep an eye on that. But again, this is a monthly, so SDO will be running as a monthly tournament. There will be a next edition in April. And also MSO is another monthly tournament, which again, people below the rank can also play. So Diamonds can definitely play in MSO, and we had Diamonds winning MSOs as well, so it's definitely possible. And MSO should be in 2 weeks, if I'm not wrong. So keep an eye on the signups. And make sure you're on CranKy Ducklings Discord. Make sure to follow us on the social media, because that's where we will be posting the signups. And you can also join.
Yeah, and I do encourage anybody who is actively laddering, who is actively playing, to come around, stick around, and join us. It's a pretty fun time here in the SEOs and the MSOs. It's not quite like an open tournament where you're going to be facing off against the world champion in the first round or anything like that.
Facing versus Bian or Maru or Clem.
Yeah.
Instead of Bian or Clem.
Well, I mean, regardless, you're never going to be facing Maru in an open tournament because Funara Maru. Sign up for open tournaments, goddammit.
Simply play like KFC once in a blue moon.
He does every now and then when when the prize pool for KFC is like larger than usual.
Yeah. Also, a very important note to end the stream. This tournament is usually streamed at CranKy_Ducklings or CranKy Ducklings on YouTube. So make sure to follow the CranKy Ducklings channel. This channel is only going live with either my personal streams, which are more often than not StarCraft related, or when we have 2 tournaments going like today. Because just 52 minutes ago, the Star Wars qualifiers have started, and Light is currently casting that on our main channel at CranKy Ducklings. So that's why we are using the B stream today on my personal channel to cover this. And in the future, if there are no other tournaments clashing, we will be covering these amateur tournaments on our main CranKy Ducklings channel as well.
Yeah, that is going to be the plan, going to be the ideal, man. I remember when CranKy Ducklings was the B stream. And now we have our own B stream.
True. But with that, Yaku, would you like to share what you've been up to or what you're going to be doing in the near future?
I am in hell at the moment, recruiting hell to be specific. If anybody out there wants to throw a job my way, I will take it. I've very recently been fired from my post, in the CranKy Ducklings. So anybody out there who wants somebody who can potentially write stuff, I'll take it. I will.
Can write stuff.
Take it.
He also has a good voice for recording, so if you need like voiceovers or something, he can probably do that as well.
Yeah, hit me up eventually. I need to get back into doing those.
Yeah, definitely.
Fight against the bots and the AIs.
I mean, you can definitely do that. Like even like if not like as a regular job, like
it's like a
you
freelance
could get
basis.
contacts. You can get contacts.
I could.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, stay tuned for an announcement potentially. If anybody wants to commission me for a thing to say.
Yeah. Anyway, other than that, what?
Sorry. Yeah, other than that, I do try to cast whenever available on the CranKy Ducklings channel. I sometimes go live on my own personal channel, which is twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1. Hit me up on Twitter.com at Empora Yakuzaku, or now also on Blue Sky at what am I on Blue Sky? I think it's just Yakuzaku
I
over
think
there.
it's just Yakuzaku.
Yeah, yep, just yakuzaku.bisky.social over on Blue Sky right now. So if hit me up on either of those two or on the CranKy Ducklings Discord channel, or channel server if you want me to actually stream something. Ladder, Crab Champions.
Yeah.
I need to get back into Crab Champions.
Yeah,
As an
Yaku
update.
does stream in the Discord in case you want to be part of that as well.
Oh, I do that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, meanwhile, if you
Right.
want to follow my stuff, then just make sure to follow this channel. I, again, mostly stream non-StarCraft games here, although I may try some laddering every now and then, so keep an eye out for that. Other than that, you can find all my social media at bento.me at 16squadsanseki. That's where are all my links. I have a Twitter, I have a Mastodon, I have a Blue Sky, I have a Twitch, a YouTube, so you can find me in several different places. I also have my own Discord server that I run together with Light, which is separate from the CranKy Ducklings. Like basically CranKy Duckling is ours like StarCraft stuff, and the other server is more like everything else, like the Final Fantasy, like all the bunch of other games and so on.
Yeah. It's where you can find.
Where you can find what?
I was gonna say it's where you can find us, or I guess me specifically, but slightly more unhinged than usual.
Is that true?
I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there a difference? But anyway, with that, we will be sending the raid to our main channel, to the CranKy Ducklings, as Light is currently in the qualifiers of Star Wars, so enjoy that, and, make sure to say hi to him.
Yeah. Show him a little bit of love there. It's going to be a huge tournament after the qualifiers do wrap up. Huge Chinese tournament that will be taking place offline. I believe it's going to be the first
playoffs. The playoffs will be offline.
Yeah, the playoffs eventually will be the first tournament taking place offline in China in a very long time.
Yeah, so make sure to tune into that because that is a big tournament, and yeah, we will be sending you that way. So thank you for watching, and we will see you soon. Bye.
We'll see you all.